Welcome to the Game Plots. My name is Anna, and today I'd like to introduce you to one of the most iconic games in video game history, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. The game follows Tommy Vercetti. His boss, Sonny Forelli, decides to send Tommy to Vice City to man their drug operations for a few months. After flying out to Vice City, Tommy and two other mobsters, Harry and Lee, are met by Ken Rosenberg, who welcomes them and explains the situation. Afterward, he drives them to a drug deal with the Vance crime family. The Vances arrive by helicopter and begin the deal. However, they are ambushed, and Harry, Lee, and one of the dealers are killed, while Tommy, Ken, and another dealer escape. Tommy and Ken drive to the office, where Tommy instructs Ken to rest and promises to return in the morning to assess the situation. Ken enters his office while Tommy heads back to his hotel room. Upon arrival, Tommy contacts his boss, Sonny. Tommy discloses that the deal was ambushed, and Harry and Lee, who accompanied them, were killed. Sonny inquires about the whereabouts of the money, which Tommy lost. An enraged Sonny warns Tommy that he is not someone to be taken lightly and that Tommy must recover the money. Tommy assures Sonny that he will retrieve the money and drugs. Tommy returns to Ken's office to gather some leads, as ordered by Sonny. Ken informs him that the key to solving the problem is Colonel Cortez, who arranged the failed drug deal and is hosting a party on his yacht. Ken hands Tommy an invitation to the party, but advises him to stop at Raphael's for a new outfit first. Tommy heads to Raphael's and obtains a new suit before heading to the marina to board the yacht. Upon arriving at the party, Tommy meets with Cortez, who promises to discuss the drug deal's failure later. Cortez then introduces Tommy to his daughter, Mercedes, who helps him identify the other guests. When Ricardo Diaz arrives, Mercedes decides to leave with Tommy and requests that he take her to the pole position club. Rosenberg instructs Tommy to gather more intel on the botched drug deal and meet Kent Paul at the Malibu Club, known for being the city's biggest rumor monger. Tommy meets Paul, who divulges information about Leo Teal, a chef and hitman acting suspiciously. In an alley in Ocean Beach, Tommy confronts Teal, who refuses to cooperate, prompting Tommy to beat him to death. Lance Vance arrives, revealing that he also wants to avenge his brother's death in the drug deal ambush. They flee when three more chefs emerge to attack them, driving Lance's white Infernus. Lance warns Tommy that he is watching him before leaving. Tommy heads to Ken's office in Washington Beach, where Ken informs him that the Forelli family is furious about not receiving their money from the failed deal. As a favor to the family, Tommy is tasked with helping Sonny's cousin Giorgio, who faces a 5-year prison sentence for fraud unless the jury changes their verdict. While leaving, Tommy witnesses a golfer run over a worker who drops his hammer. Tommy takes the hammer and drives to find the two jurors. The first juror is parked in Vice Point, and Tommy uses the hammer to destroy his car until the juror runs away. The second juror is talking to a woman in Ocean Beach, but as he tries to flee in his car, he crashes into a Spanned Express truck. Tommy smashes the car with a hammer until the juror exits and flees in terror. When Tommy enters Ken's office, he finds him in conversation with Avery Carrington, a Texas-based real estate developer. He asks Tommy to destroy the company's delivery trucks and start a riot to distract the security guards. Tommy goes to Raphael's to change into overalls before heading to the Spanned Express depot. There, he initiates a riot by attacking the striking workers, takes out the security guards, and destroys the 3 delivery trucks parked there. Tommy Vercetti visits Avery Carrington's construction site in Vice Point to inquire about job opportunities. Carrington reveals that he's having trouble with a competing property developer and informs him that the developer is playing golf at the Leaf Links Country Club. Vercetti heads to the Jocksport clothing store, purchases a golf outfit, and drives to the country club. At the club entrance, Vercetti's weapons are confiscated. Vercetti is spotted by the security, who attack him while the developer makes his escape in a caddy. Vercetti pursues and kills the developer before leaving the club. Later, Carrington informs Vercetti that he's interested in some development land up the road from his construction site, but construction has already begun. Carrington requests that Vercetti destroy the site, and Vercetti is provided with a Top Fun van equipped with an RC Goblin and 4 bombs. Using the remote control helicopter, Vercetti maneuvers past the workers and security to plant the bombs in strategic locations. Once all 4 bombs are placed, Vercetti detonates them, causing severe damage to the construction site. Later, Cortez contacts Tommy and asks him to kill Gonzalez, a trusted associate who has become incompetent and owes Cortez money. Cortez gives Tommy a chainsaw to use during the mission. Tommy goes to a penthouse in Vice Point where Gonzalez is being protected by 2 of Diaz's men. After spotting Tommy, Gonzalez attempts to escape, but Tommy chases him down and kills him. Cortez hires Tommy to retrieve some guidance chips from Pierre Laponce, a courier, who is supposed to deliver them in the Washington Mall. Tommy heads to the mall and meets Laponce. The SWAT team interrupts the deal, and Laponce attempts to escape on a motorcycle, forcing Tommy to chase and kill him to retrieve the chips. Tommy returns the chips to Cortez at the Ocean Bay Marina. Cortez then asks Tommy to provide extra security for Ricardo Diaz's deal with the Cubans, and Cortez has arranged for special firepower at the Washington Beach multi-story car park. Tommy heads to the car park to pick up a Ruger and meets Lance Vance. They join Diaz and his bodyguards in an alley in Ocean Beach, and Tommy is instructed to find a good vantage point. Tommy climbs up a nearby set of stairs to reach a higher platform and waits for the Cubans to arrive. As the deal begins, a group of Haitians arrive and start attacking the men. Tommy must defend them by taking out the attackers. After defeating the last of the Haitians, 2 attackers on Sanchez's motorcycles appear and steal Diaz's money. Lance manages to kill one of them, but the other escapes with the cash. Tommy chases the thief on his bike. The goal is to eliminate the Haitian before he can get away. Once the Haitian is taken care of, Tommy retrieves the briefcase of money and returns it to Diaz. Tommy pays a visit to Ricardo Diaz's mansion on Starfish Island, where Diaz informs him that the Street Wannabes leader has been stealing 3% of his earnings. He wants Tommy to find out where the money is being kept. Tommy heads to the apartment, but it's empty. As he is about to leave, he spots the leader on the rooftop opposite and pursues him. The leader escapes in a BF injection, and Tommy follows him to a derelict mansion on Prawn Island. Diaz is angry with the Street Wannabes gangsters for attempting to defraud him and instructs Tommy to fly to Prawn Island and eliminate them. Tommy and Lance Vance board a helicopter from Diaz's mansion and fly to Prawn Island. Tommy uses an M60 to take out several groups of gang members on the mansion roofs, and Lance drops him off to retrieve the money. Tommy fights his way through the Eastern Mansion, killing gang members and finally reaching the roof where he collects the money. Lance picks up Tommy, and they fly back to Diaz's mansion. Tommy heads to Ricardo Diaz's mansion and finds him shooting at pigeons that defecated on his car. Diaz tells Tommy that he needs him to steal a speedboat from the boatyard in Viceport, which was built for a Costa Rican drug lord. Tommy goes to the boatyard and encounters heavily armed guards. He fights his way in and lowers the boat into the water, then fends off more pursuing guards and sails the boat back to Diaz's mansion. A freelancer docks his yacht in Vice City monthly, known as the Drug Boat, due to drug sales taking place on board. However, the freelancer only sells to the first arrivals on the yacht, and Diaz wants Tommy and Lance to be the first customers. Tommy and Lance rendezvous at the Squallow and agree to beat the competition to the drug boat. Upon arriving, Lance pilots the Squallow while Tommy defends against rival attackers. Eventually, they successfully secure the drugs and return to Diaz. Later, Cortez informs Tommy that he has a buyer looking for a military tank, which is being transported in a military convoy to Fort Baxter Air Base. Tommy intercepts the convoy and steals the tank. Tommy drives the tank to the lockup before it self-destructs. The French Secret Service has discovered that Cortez had sent the courier to steal missile technology guidance chips and now wants them back. However, Cortez wants to keep them and is escaping Vice City on his yacht, seeking Tommy's assistance. While the boat is leaving the dock, French Secret Servicemen fire from the docks and 4 boats follow the yacht. Tommy fights them off and more gunmen on dinghies. As they reach a bridge, more boats block their way, and servicemen climb on board, but Tommy manages to defeat them. The French attack with 2 Maverick helicopters and a hunter, but Tommy destroys all 3. Once in the open sea, Cortez asks Tommy to keep an eye on Mercedes and gives him a speedboat to return to Vice City. Kent Paul approaches Tommy at the Malibu Club and informs him that Lance Vance has been taken hostage and tortured by Ricardo Diaz's men at the junkyard. Tommy rushes to the junkyard but finds it heavily guarded. He fights his way to a storage hangar at the back of the junkyard where he finds Lance, who is badly injured. Tommy reprimands Lance for his actions, but Lance reveals that he was seeking revenge for Diaz's role in his brother's death. As they leave the junkyard, Diaz's men give chase, but Tommy manages to escape and drives Lance to the Schumann Healthcare Center downtown. Tommy resolves to carry out his plot to eliminate Diaz. He meets up with Lance, who equips him with an M4 carbine. Together, they breach Diaz's mansion and make their way through the gardens, engaging in gunfire. Entering through the back door by an indoor pool, they continue shooting their way through the corridors until they reach the main hall. Diaz and his 8 guards are killed by Tommy and Lance. Diaz crawls to the top of the stairs, expressing his trust in Tommy, before being killed. After taking over Diaz's mansion, Tommy discusses the next move with Lance, Ken, and Avery. Lance informs Tommy that some shops are not paying protection money anymore after Diaz's death. To scare them into paying for protection, Tommy goes to the North Point Mall to damage their shop fronts. However, as he does this, the police start to take notice of him. Tommy is able to smash all the windows of 5 shops within 5 minutes. Later, at his mansion, Tommy finds Lance at the bar. Lance tells Tommy that the Front Page Cafe is not paying protection money because they are already protected by a local gang. Angry with Lance's indifference, Tommy decides to deal with the problem himself. He takes 2 of his bodyguards to the Front Page Cafe on Ocean Drive and kills the guards in front of the cafe. Tommy talks to the cafe owner, who explains that DBP Security is providing their protection. Tommy goes to DBP Security's headquarters and attacks some of their guards. Although 2 guards escape on PCJ 600S with Secura cars following them as backup, Tommy chases and kills them as they flee to the southeastern tip of Ocean Beach. Mike and Lance are having a heated argument at the Vercetti estate about the unsuccessful detonation of a bomb at the Tarbrush Cafe in the North Point Mall. Tommy decides they can pull it off by disguising themselves as police officers. In Vice Point, Tommy and Lance ambush 2 officers and steal their uniforms. They make their way to the mall, and Tommy manages to pass through the police and military presence at the cafe undetected. He detonates the bomb, causing the cafe to explode and alerting the FBI, which triggers a 5-star wanted level. However, Tommy is able to escape and returns to the Vercetti estate with Lance. Meanwhile, Sonny is growing impatient with Tommy for not paying him back the money lost during the drug deal and for cutting ties with him. In retaliation, Sonny sends his family members to tax Tommy's businesses. Upon receiving a distress call from Ken, Tommy rushes to the printworks, only to find an injured Ernest Kelly. Ernest informs Tommy that members of the Forelli crime family had come to collect their share for Sonny. Tommy orders the print workers to take Ernest to the hospital while he takes care of the problem by killing Sonny's goons who were taxing his businesses. Ken and Lance inform Tommy about Sonny's upcoming visit, and in an attempt to appease him, Tommy sets aside $3 million of counterfeit cash. Sonny and his associates arrive at Tommy's mansion, where Tommy intends to give Sonny counterfeit cash. However, Lance, Tommy's partner, betrays him, stating that it's just business. Sonny questions Tommy about his counterfeit money, but Tommy is still upset about Lance's betrayal and admits that he wanted to anger Sonny before killing him. This leads to a massive gunfight in the mansion, during which Lance escapes to the roof and Tommy defends his safe from Forelli family members trying to steal his money. After killing several of them, Tommy follows Lance to the roof and kills him. Tommy then returns to the mansion's foyer, where Sonny confirms that he orchestrated the incident 15 years ago that resulted in Tommy's imprisonment. Seeking revenge, Tommy kills Sonny's guards before killing Sonny himself. After the shootout, Ken appears and asks Tommy what happened. Tommy explains that he had a disagreement with a business associate, expressing his regret over Lance's betrayal. Tommy assures Ken that there won't be any further trouble from up north and announces that he's in charge. He ends the mission by telling Ken that they could have a fruitful business relationship, and so the game comes to an end.